I live in India, I'm married to an Indian, and I've traveled to every single union territory and state here in India. And today we're going to talk about, is India safe or not to travel in? And I'm going to give you a bunch of tips to keep you safe while you're traveling here in India. And we're going to do it from this incredible place. I'm traveling alone here in Odisha, and I'm literally in the middle of nowhere in a very, very rural area. But first, oh my god, on the way here, so I'm coming here to film a video about travel safety, and I stupidly put my tripod down on the side of the road for 5 minutes so I could get some drone shots. And you know, I knew it was a dumb thing to do, but it was the risk I took to go and get those shots because I couldn't carry the tripod with me. Came back, the DSLR tripod is gone. I don't know what a rural person out here would need a DSLR tripod for, but whatever, they got one now. Chalo, let's take a seat, let's chat. India is of course safe to travel alone, just like any other country is. But you have to prepare yourself, okay? So for example, my country, New Zealand, isn't safe. Tourists get attacked there, just like they do here in India. No place is safe. And today we'll talk about a bunch of challenges for foreigners here, and then some tips on how to, deal with these challenges. And the first thing I tell people when they're coming to India is take a guided tour if this is your first time in India. If you're naive or an inexperienced traveler, you really should follow this advice. Take a guided tour. I know you hate guided tours, so do I, but the benefit of a guided tour is they are going to ease you into India. They're going to teach you how to survive here in India. You're going to be with a guide and with other people for 5 days, sharing experiences, sharing stories. It's just the best way to ease yourself into India. Okay, so what I did the very first time I came here, I took the Golden Triangle tour. They took us to Agra, they took us to the Taj Mahal, to Jaipur, and to Delhi. And yeah, absolutely the best way for beginners to arrive in India. Okay, do not just come and think you can handle it, because India is a real culture shock, and you're going to see it the second you walk outside of the New Delhi airport. But then on the flip side, India is the most incredible country in the world, and you are going to have an incredible time and a very, very memorable time. This is why I choose to live here, because I love being in India so much. And if you watch this entire video and you watch some more of my videos, you are going to come here and have an incredible time too, because I will keep you safe while you're traveling here in India. Now, living here in India for so long, I've had a couple of bad experiences. I mean, you heard about today, right? My tripod got stolen, but partly that was my fault. Another time I was in Vrindavan walking down a back road near a temple, and this old guy comes up to me and starts saying to me, lollipop, lollipop, and he just sort of keep repeating lollipop really creepily, and then he tapped me in my family jewels, and I knew what he wanted, and so that happened. That was gross. And then the next time where was I? Oh, I was in Gujarat, and I was at a bus station, and I could feel somebody was watching me. You can feel when someone's watching you, right? I was walking around looking for my bus terminal, and he just kept following me. Then I walked into the toilet, and that's when he followed me in there. He stood in the urinal next to me, and he watched me. He looked at me, he perved on me. Really creeped me out, these two experiences. Then I've had issues in Sydney as well. Guy comes up to me and hugs me and asks me if I wanna, Then in Bangladesh, a guy comes up to me and he shows me his phone and he goes, please don't be angry, please don't be angry. And it's a text message which says, do you like boy to boy? I'm like, oh hell no, man. At least not boy to boy, come on, at least man to man. Not boy to boy, that's wrong, that's illegal. So yeah, I don't know, gay guys like me or something, because I've had so many of these experiences, and there's more, but yeah, let's move on. And so the reason I told you those was because, yeah, it has happened in India, but it has happened overseas to me as well. There is nowhere which is safe for tourists. And when these things happened, I was always alone. I was always traveling alone. People see you as weak when you're traveling alone, alright? And we'll talk about some tips on dealing with this soon, but let's talk about the 3 biggest challenges for foreigners when you guys come here as tourists, okay? First one is the stares. You're going to get used to people staring at you, and honestly, it's not malicious. It's not pervy usually. It is just curiosity. A lot of Indians, especially rural Indians, have never seen or met a foreigner before. So they're gonna stare at you, okay? It just happens. And yeah, it even happens in the big cities where they have seen foreigners before, simply because you've got a lot of domestic tourists from outside of these big cities coming, and it's usually them who want the photo of the foreigner or who are staring, okay? It can be creepy though, okay? Like, yeah, you do get creepy guys who won't stop staring at you, and don't smile back, don't kind of stare back at them, because these guys have really warped minds, and if you engage with them, sometimes they think you're interested when, hell no, you're not. You're creeped out. So, I mean, to deal with these guys, you just have to move. You just have to get away, and sometimes they can get a bit too close to you as well, so just move. Get the hell away from them. We'll go over some more tips soon. Challenges, so the second one, scams and touts. They are absolutely everywhere, and they flock to the tourist attractions, Humayun's Tomb, Red Fort, Connaught Place. You can't avoid them. They will find you. And when they do find you, just keep walking. Do not engage with them. Their whole persona is of a friendly local. But very, very quickly, they will turn into how they can help you. And that'll turn into how much money can they take from you, okay? And that's a sad thing. You can't trust friendly locals here in India, because these touts and these scammers have absolutely wrecked that. And to see all these scams and avoid them for yourself, I've got a travel scam playlist. Watch that. You'll see all the scams that are operating here, and you'll learn how to avoid them, okay? The third biggest challenge I find here is selfie mobs. Doesn't sound like much of a problem, right? And I want to take selfies with as many people as possible. But when one person asks, sometimes it can turn into a queue, which then people go, oh, what's happening over here? People get inquisitive, and they come over and see what's happening, and it just starts turning into a big crowd. People pushing to watch, people taking selfies with you, and people queuing and pushing in with their phones, sticking in your face. Yeah, it can just get really annoying, and it can get out of control. And a little bit scary as a foreigner, the closeness and everything, and things can go wrong. So one time a guy was taking a selfie with me, and he tried to kiss me, like, and yeah, yuck, I just stepped away and yelled at him. Like, things can go wrong when you're in these crowds, or when you're taking selfies with people in general. And the key here is, don't worry about saying no to people for selfies, okay? It's not rude. You don't have to take selfies with anybody. They bring risk that you don't need, especially when you're traveling alone, because that's what we're talking about, right? Now let's talk about some tips to deal with these challenges. And the first tip is, do not be afraid to say no. This is the most important word in India. And more than that, it's the most important word in your life. No liberates you, but yes commits you to things in your life, right? And you have to be very careful about who you say yes to and how much time you put into certain things, when you should be saying no to focus on other things which are more important, right? So don't overburden yourself in real life by saying yes to everybody. I know people like me, we like to please everybody, but I learned to say no, and I learned to say no here in India. So if someone is asking you for a selfie and you don't feel it's safe, or you don't want to take it, say no. It's not rude. You don't have to take that selfie, right? Someone is coming up to you and they're asking you, can they help you, or can they take you to a shop? No. No is the most important word. No, and keep walking. And this leads me into my second point. You have to be assertive here in India. And that goes with saying no, right? If someone's pushing in front of you in line, you got to be assertive. You got to tell them, nah, there is a line. Do not push in front of me. This happens to me a lot here in India. If you don't be assertive, you'll get pushed to the back of a line. Someone will always be pushing in front of you or pushing you around. And this is because strength respects strength here in India. You can either just let it be and let people push in front of you or push you around, or you can say, nah, no thanks. I'm gonna take control of this. Do not push in front of me. Do not push me around. And if you don't learn to say no, and you don't learn to be assertive, you're nothing but a pushover. You will get pushed around here. Not only in India, but in life in general. And actually, bad people, they prey on targets they see as weak. They prey on people who they know won't push back. They're hunters like that. They want the easiest target. So if something happens kick up a fuss, yell, scream, make yourself known that something is going on, and people will come and help you. You have to make it as hard for that bad person as possible. You have to make it for them to go, oh, I chose the wrong person, I gotta go, I gotta get out of here. You gotta be assertive, you gotta say no, and you gotta make a scene if something does happen. Just let rip. This is what's gonna save you and what is gonna help you here in India. Now guys, when you book a super cheap hotel, like a $10 hotel, like a 500 rupee hotel in India, what kind of quality, what kind of service, and what kind of staff do you think this hotel is hiring? Yeah, the quality is terrible. The service is young, uneducated boys, and so therefore the hospitality and everything is just going to be bad. And we've seen so many times on YouTube, women especially staying in cheap hotels and having a bad experience. Surprise, surprise, okay? For guys, it's not so bad, right? These young boys who they get from outside of the big cities and pay peanuts, they generally don't target guys, they're targeting girls. So yeah, you get what you pay for here in India. There is no country where that is more true. You can stay at a super cheap hotel, but I guarantee you your experience will not be good. And as a female, you should definitely not be staying in these unsafe hotels. So if you are traveling alone, try and stay at a hostel, somewhere where there are a lot of other people around, or stay with a family in an Airbnb. These are best for solo travelers here in India. And that goes on to my next point. Try not to travel alone around the cities, and especially don't travel alone at night. If you stay at a hostel, if you stay with a family, especially a hostel, you'll find other like-minded people who will want to spend the day with you and they'll want to travel around with you. You get a lot of solo travelers staying at these hostels here in India. Even if you're not a super social person, right? You're a bit timid. People will come and talk to you at a hostel, you know. Go and hang out in the common area. You'll meet people and you'll be able to travel around the cities and go to all the tourist sites in a group rather than going alone. Eve teasing or harassment, like someone grabbing you for a feel here in India, definitely does happen. A lot of people have a story about a stray hand. For example, I was on the metro with my sister-in-law and someone in the crowd grabbed her butt, okay? Gross, yuck. And it happens to everybody, Indian woman included. On public transport, make sure you're sitting in the areas dedicated for women. When you're out in public, you can wear your backpack on the front of you. I see a lot of women doing that. They might have two backpacks, one on front, one on back. You can't always do that, right? So you're just going to have to be aware of your surroundings. And if it happens, like I said, make a scene. There is always a lot of police around here in India. And there's a lot of security cameras, especially in the tourist areas. So make a scene. Other people will come and they'll help you. Go find the police, report it, and hopefully they'll find the guy and bring some justice for you. That was all really heavy, right? Try not to let all that weigh you down a bit. Just prepare yourself. Everything is going to be incredible and amazing when you come here to India. And I can tell you're a smart person because you're here watching this video. You are preparing yourself. So you're going to come here, you're going to have an incredible time. You're going to love your time here, and it will be a life-changing experience in a positive way, okay? So just go and check out the rest of my travel advice videos, okay? My scam videos. They are going to help you to no ends. Go to indiasurvivalguide.com and get my quick start safety guide too. You can literally read this in 90 minutes while you're on the plane, and when you land here, you are going to be off and running on your feet and having an absolutely incredible time here in incredible India. I love India. Please come and join me here. Jai Hind.